And just a friendly reminder, if you are looking for science-based powerlifting programming, look no further than the Team Roar training app. You can find the link to it in the episode description and also get 25% off of your first month using discount code all capital PL Ballads podcast. Happy training.
Welcome to episode 217. How are you, Josh?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Excellent.
So, what's going on?
It is meet week. Youth Bench Equipped and Power ID Nationals are this weekend in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania.
Valley Forge.
Yep.
That's awesome. So, how many lifters do we have?
We have four. We don't have anybody doing youth bench or Empower ID, but we do have four lifters competing at Equip Nationals on Sunday. So we got a couple interesting battles coming up. So we have four lifters: Laura Sterland, Elaine Ostrander, Katie Dodge, and Joe House. Laura Sterland is lifting an 82.5 kilo class. Her nominated total is tied for first in the open division at 485 with a girl from Connecticut named Caitlin Dunn, and she's also nominated first in the M3s for her weight class. What's interesting, the 485 is Laura's best total since like 2016. And I looked up Caitlin Dunn, and her best total is 512 and a half back in 2021. So it'll be interesting because Laura has kind of hit a second wind as an M3 and she's been making really good progress. So that 485 total is not really reflective of what she's capable of. So I'll be interested to see.
Nice.
It's going to be a fun battle. And looking at the numbers, it appears that Caitlin's going to have the higher subtotal just based on what she squats, which means we're going to pull last. Uh,
Uh,
so so we're
mm,
hopefully going to be able to put it on the bar
right.
and see what happens.
Oh, fun, fun,
There,
fun.
there's another girl nominated in third that we got to watch, Erica Folk. She's nominated with a 445, but in 2022 she had a 470 total, which is right there in that ballpark. So her most recent meet where she did the qualifying total, she went 9 for 9, and all of her attempts were less than she had done in a previous meet. So it looks like she was just trying to get a qualifying total. So if I had to guess, she's going to be right there in that 485 to 500 range as well.
Nice.
Which so I think it's going to be a
Oh,
three-way battle for first.
nice.
So it's going to be
But
interesting.
as an M3 lifter to even be in that battle is
I know, right?
amazing.
I know.
Yes.
It's awesome. I'm so excited because she's battle tested, man. She's been competing for so long. Like
Mm,
she knows the drill. So yeah, I'm
yep.
excited to see what happens there.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and then Elaine Ostrander's lifting in a 100 kilo M3. She's lifting uncontested, but she's coming off of Raw Nationals where she hit a PR squat and a PR deadlift, but unfortunately, missed all three benches. We can blame that on coaching. We went up after missed opener and she missed twice after that. So, we're looking to actually, for her, I think have PRs across the board and should be a pretty good meet for her. Um, then Katie Dodge, she's nominated in second in the 100 kilo open and M1. Katie's got a 585 nominated total, and Keelani Richardson's has a 593. Both of those totals are their most recent totals and also their all-time PR totals.
Mm,
So they both have been, steadily increasing their totals. And I looked up real quick before we hopped on here. I'm pretty sure I got everything, but it looks like they've competed head to head 8 times since 2021. And in their head to head matchups, they're currently tied 4-4.
oh, wow. The
So,
tiebreaker.
this one will be best out of nine.
Wow.
So,
Nice.
and I'm not sure if I counted it exactly right because, for example, they're both in the open and masters in the same weight class. So I was trying not to count that as two, but I may have just in my, trying to do it real quick. So,
Right.
uh, it's possible that it's only seven, or it's possible I didn't count it right and it's actually been nine. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure this is the tiebreaker, best out of nine, which they're neither one are done. And this is actually so the other interesting thing is they both traditionally compete at 90 kilos. Katie has done the Masters finals a few times at 100 kilos, just weighing like 91 or something like that because it was all by dots.
Mm,
Uh, Keelani is always lifted at 90. Her most recent meet that she got that 593 total, she lifted at 100 kilos, but she only weighed like 91 or something like that, just over 90. So this will be the first meet that they're both 100 kilos going head to head.
Hmm.
So whatever that means, I don't know, but it'll be interesting. I'm excited for that
Right.
one as well.
Bigger
Uh,
totals,
yeah, bigger totals.
right?
And Keelani has the bigger pull, so she's going to have the last say. So we have to, be
Mm,
smart with our attempts in squat and bench and try
right.
to keep it out of reach. But she's Keelani's kind of a wild card because like I've seen her load up some, multiple times load up the world record deadlift for the win, and she's made it a few times. So
Mm,
can never count her out regardless of what's on the bar for that third pull.
nice.
Uh,
Well, that
yep.
keeps it exciting.
It
Right.
does. I'm excited for those. And then Joe House is lifting in the 90 kilo M4 division. So he's looking to, put together a pretty solid equipped meet. This is only his second equipped meet. So, we'll see how he does.
And all of these lifters are all on the same day?
Yeah, there's only 59 lifters in the equipped division at nationals this year,
Okay.
which is wildly underwhelming. I will say,
Yeah,
I
really
really,
is. Sad.
I honestly, in my heart, I feel like this is the low point, and it's only going to get bigger from here. I really believe that, especially with Mike Haffenbrack being the new equipped
Mm,
chair person. So I think he's going to, help
ah,
promote it and help get it going again.
good, good.
Yeah. So one thing I was thinking about, this is just kind of random, but just looking at these like Laura Sterling and Katie Dodge, like there's going to be third attempt changes, like by multiple lifters in
Right.
both of those matchups. And I really think it would be cool if anybody from Lifting Cast is listening to this. I think it'd be really cool to document when there's third attempt changes or even opening attempt changes where you can look, because like if you go to Lifting Cast right now, you can click on like the lifter's name and then you can see their attempts, you can see, like the info about them. If there was a tab, even on the results tab, maybe when you're looking at individual lifter or somewhere on there, like show what the attempt changes were so we can kind of see like what, especially for like
Mm,
if you're trying to really see what happened, you can see, oh, this lifter made two changes and this lifter made one change, and this was the results. So, and then you can piece together and kind of tell the story, like retell the story, what was
mm,
actually happening. I just think that'd be really neat for lifters and coaches to kind of learn more about the attempt selection and stuff as well. But mostly selfishly for myself because I look at results and I'm like, okay, this lifter lost by, you know, 2.5 kilos. If this, other lifter would have made this change or whatever, like I'm curious, did they make a change or did they literally just not realize they could have made a
mm,
change? So like, did they change and make the wrong number? Like I feel like there's more story to be told in the results
mm.
if we had that documented somehow. And I
Right.
think
With
it'd
a
be simple.
timestamp.
Yeah, times and they already do the timestamps. Lifting
Right.
Cast already does the timestamps. So like, yeah, we could have that, in there and see exactly what happened. I don't know if the timestamps are accessible to everybody or just the meet directors. I'll actually have to look at that. I'm not 100% sure. But I just think that would be interesting. And when there's record attempts right now, the score table just marks it as a record attempt and it kind of flags it in the results, but they could also do the same thing for changes. Like obviously they come in hot and heavy sometimes. So like, even if after the fact, like as soon as like the chaos is over, you go back and mark which
Mm,
ones were changes. I think that would be, I think that'd be interesting just to be able
right.
to see later on.
So when there's a record attempt, it's marked that way, but is it shown in results if they don't make the attempt?
No,
Right.
it's marked when it's marked in there, it's marked for the display, so it makes sure that it says American record or world record or whatever. So the correct referees are in the chair, but it's already
Right.
flagged in the system, so they could pull that if they wanted to
Right.
um, into a results or something like that.
Right. That might
Actually,
be
you know what? It
interesting.
is. It actually. I take that back. There is in the results. It does have a list of all the records that were broken.
Right. But what if there's a an attempt that wasn't broken, but
It doesn't
meant to
show
be?
it,
Right. That
but
might be
because it's
interesting.
been marked, they could pull that data because it's already
Right.
been marked. So
Right.
it's just a matter of setting it up, I think. And I don't know much about
Hmm.
technology. So I don't know how that would work, but if it can do all these other things, I'm sure it can do that.
Right, right.
Um,
I don't know about technology. Them internets. I
them
know.
internets.
Well, and it kind of made me start thinking about, excuse me. So when you're coaching, do you see it as a not just a battle against your lifter against another lifter, but you're coaching against that other lifter's coach?
Oh, 100%. Unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, a lot of coaches don't realize that's happening. But like, you know, for example, at Raw Nationals, there was a back and forth with myself and Ryan Gleason's lifter, and we both were watching each other and making changes, and like that's fun for me when there is somebody else that understands we're playing a game. In a lot of situations, I don't think coaches or lifters even know that you're allowed to change attempts. They don't know, they don't pay attention to who's coaching a lifter. So like I identify right off the bat like who the coaches are of the lifters that I know I'm going to be going up against. So when deadlifts roll around, either myself or somebody they're assigned to just watch that coach. If they go over by the score table, find out what they're doing, right away and let me know and report back. But yeah, so 100%. Like yeah, obviously it's lifters against lifters, but like there's coaches putting in fake changes, like there's coaches running over to the score table urgently just to distract other coaches. Like, but that only works if both sides are understanding what's going on. Otherwise, they're just
Right,
running over there for no reason.
right. Spies.
Spies. Yep.
Nice.
Smoke and mirrors. That's all it is.
I mean, it's part of the game,
It
right?
is.
It's part of the game.
Yep.
And speaking of the game, that was my segue. So I saw that the Nationals had a new qualifying total came out.
Yeah, so Raw Nationals QTs were across the board for all divisions lowered by 5% and then rounded to the new nearest 2.5 kilos. So that's all teenage age divisions, junior and open divisions, because starting in 2026, Masters Nationals are separate. They're going to
Mm.
be the same weekend, well, same week, I guess. They're going to be Wednesday, Thursday of Raw Nationals week. So Masters Nationals will be their own. The Masters qualifying totals did not change. I think that's important to note. But because Masters are now not technically part of Raw Nationals, the requirement to hit the QT for Masters at a state, regional, nationals, or pro meet is no longer in effect. So Masters can actually get their qualifying total from any USA powerlifting sanctioned event now. Um, but everybody lifting in Raw Nationals, teens, juniors, and open still need to do it at a state meet or higher. So that opens up a little flexibility for masters lifters to get their QT in.
So question, QT is being lowered. Like I've not seen that ever that I recall.
Yeah, so the idea here is that because they're pulling masters out of Raw Nationals, that actually makes a
Uh,
little bit more availability for Raw Nationals lifters.
that
So
makes sense.
yeah, so the idea there is lowering it just a little bit across the board, possibly, getting a few more lifters in actual Raw Nationals next year.
Mm. Okay. I mean, I think you said that, but I just wasn't picking up on
Yeah.
that.
Wasn't picking up what I was laying down.
I was not. I wasn't tracking, but it could have been me. They will go. We'll just say it was me. We'll just move
Okay.
on.
I'm good with
Okay.
that.
All right. So I saw something here about early registration for pro card holders.
Yep. So for Open and Masters, registration is going to open February 1st for Pro Card holders, and they're going to have 48 hours to sign up. And then regular registration is going to open on February 3rd at 5 o'clock Eastern. So it's basically given priority to the Pro Card holders to get signed up before the meet potentially would sell out.
That's great. That's never
Yeah.
been done before, correct?
Now they did that. That's been at least this past year.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think prior years when Raw National sold out, there were some people that got left out. They didn't get signed up in time.
Mhm.
So they made it where if you have a pro card holder that didn't register in time, like you want those lifters at nationals. So they made it where they get basically 2 days to sign up before registration opens so that they can be guaranteed a spot basically.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Yeah. The only thing, with this separating Masters Nationals, I was looking at some of the numbers because the Masters Nationals, the week of Raw Nationals, is going to be Raw and equipped. So that also means that the Masters equipped lifters are no longer going to be part of equipped nationals. So I just did some math here. You already mentioned there's only 59 total lifters registered for equipped nationals this year. 17 of them are exclusively entered in Masters division. So that means they're not in the open, they're only in Masters. So that means automatically we're down to 42 lifters if it was this year at
Right.
equipped nationals. And then there's 8 lifters that are double entered in Masters and Open. So if all 8 of those elect to lift at Masters Nationals and not Open Equipped Nationals, that means we're down to 34 lifters at Equipped Nationals. Again, that's this year.
Dang.
I think those numbers are going to be way up next year, regardless. But that's just if that was in place this year. So kind of crazy.
Wow. So all Masters lifters will be lifting at Masters Nationals, whether they're raw or equipped.
Correct. So if somebody, so like our 2 lifters, Laura Sterling and Katie Dodge, who are double entered, they're going to literally, if they want to do Open and Masters, they're going to have to compete
Mm.
in June at the Masters Nationals, and then a month later do Equip Nationals in the Open division.
Mm.
And it's going to
That's
be
a shit sandwich.
yeah.
Mm.
So it's probably going to be choosing one or the other is probably what's going to
Right.
be. But
Right. Because that's too much. Well, and it's unfortunate too, because there's two lifters that we're talking about that, could place first in the open.
right, and the
So,
thing with Katie, she's an M1, but Keelani is also an M1. So I guess we'll have to decide collaboratively if we both want to compete in Masters or we both want to compete in Open because I know those two and they're both going to want to go head to head again.
right.
So if one of them did Masters and the other did the Open, that would be kind of unfortunate
Right.
because that's one of those again. Like I said, this is best. This is the tiebreaker of best out of 9 right now.
Right.
So you know whoever wins this weekend is obviously going to want a rematch. I'm
Absolutely.
sorry. Well, I said whoever wins, but it's
Well,
true. Whoever
yeah,
loses,
whoever wins, whoever
they're
loses,
both
they're still going to
they're
want to
they're
do it.
they're both going to want a rematch again.
Right.
So we should
Must
set
be
we
like,
should set some arbitrary parameter right now. Like, okay, we're going to stay it now. Like, it's going to be the best out of 21 or
mm.
something. Like
By the time you're M4, let's
right.
see who can get the most wins.
Yep.
Yeah, this is just another tick on the chalkboard.
Yeah.
Nice. And you had also mentioned that Mike Kaffrenbach was the new equip chair.
Yep.
So that's amazing. I was on a committee with him to hopefully figure out how to promote equip lifting that I had to bow out of because it's just my life was exploding. Um, but yeah, that's amazing. So
Yeah. And
that's
Mike's
great.
lifting this weekend. He's one of those guys that he's stuck around like lifting wise. He's still competing. Like so him and he actually started before me. I started in 2002.
Wow.
He's a year younger than me. I believe he started in high school and he's still competing as a masters now. So
Wow.
he beat me to competing as a master even though I'm older. But we grew up together in the collegiate ranks.
Yep.
Actually Katie Dodge as well. We were all in that same era.
Oh, they grow up so fast.
I know, right?
Well, and he's just a super nice guy and great lifter. So
Yeah.
amazing to see him lift. So I'll be looking
Awesome
forward to that.
coach. Yeah.
Right.
Also awesome woodworker.
I know, right? Like, how many more talents does he actually have that we don't know about? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Crazy. So, as a powerlifting situation, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, you're ready. Okay. So, your training's going perfectly, but your job just told you you have to travel the week of your meet. What do you do in that situation?
Quit my job.
Yeah, I think I'd be mad, man. I'd be like, hey, I told you that that's my, I mean, if it was me, they'd know that that was my week of lifting, and
Yeah.
I'd be mad. Work-life balance.
Yeah, looking at some of the comments, that's what some people said. Actually, I'm gonna read one of the comments. My favorite one so far. It was pretty straight to the point. Is from the barbell backpacker. He said, The fact that you failed to request PTO says to me that you are incapable of making smart decisions and your employer probably already has you on a performance improvement plan. You are more than likely 30 to 60 days away from being terminated. Save yourself the embarrassment of being fired and quit now. Go have the best 5 for 9 meet of your life. Like, holy shit. Like that's like the perfect response.
Oh, burn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I think real answer is a little bit less harsh than that. But yeah, theoretically you would have already put in your time off. So your employer knew ahead of time. But assuming you didn't, I mean, what are you going to do? You roll with it. I mean,
Right,
it's a taper week, so you should be able to get most of what you need to do in a hotel or whatever, just doing a little bit of accessories. And if you don't train the whole week, I mean, honestly, there couldn't be a better week to skip because it's meet week, versus like your
right,
heaviest singles or a lot of the training leading up. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but
right,
the traveling part kind of sucks because you're probably dieting and working on all those things,
right.
but
Well, and stress and
in
just
stress, yeah.
being out of your norm. And yeah, I mean, meets are usually on the weekend, but if it's also a meet that you have to travel to or something, then that's it just makes it more stressful going back and forth. I had a situation where I had a like a big work thing. I have a big responsibility at work where I'm putting on this event, and I was like, okay, this event, I get to go to London. It's a cool event. It's a big deal. And then I looked at the dates, and I was like, oh no, I'm not going because I had PTO already scheduled. So
Oh,
yeah, I'll be in Fiji. So I mean, that's horrible.
bummer. So instead of
Yeah.
going to London, you're going to Fiji. Wow.
Yeah, I think
Really,
Fiji for
really roughing it there.
Yeah, right. I think that sounds like a better idea anyway. And this event is usually is a lot leading up to it, but on the day of, hopefully everything kind of just falls into place. So it shouldn't be that bad. But my boss is gonna go and man the event. But oh well, I'll be in Fiji. Rats.
Bummer.
Um, so we have a new lifter tip. I like this one. It says don't chase PRs on every lift during a meet. The mistake being treating every attempt like a max out opportunity. Just have a plan, make a total, and if a squat doesn't go your way, regroup, go for a bench or deadlift, build a total, not just a PR list.
Yeah, I see that all the time. Like people go for a PR that objectively really isn't there on squat. They miss. They do the same thing on bench, do the same thing on deadlift. They go, 6 for 9, and they're 5 kilos under their PR total. But if they would have just took what was there, they would have had a huge PR total.
Right,
It's about building the total, not swinging for the fences and trying to hit a home run on all three lifts individually.
right.
Unless you're competing against us, then by all means do that.
Nice, nice. Well said.
Yeah.
Very good. Then we have a section on random bee shit, and I really don't have much in the random bee area since I'm out of the state right now.
So here's my update on my yellow jacket situation in the front
Oh,
yard.
all right.
They're still there. I tried that, whatever it's called, blah 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 blah, detoximilus
Oh,
earth.
diatomaceous earth.
Yeah, that it didn't really seem to do anything, but I may need to put more of it on there. But they're coming out of like three different holes in the ground now.
Mm. Did you try
Uh,
the boiling water?
I did. That did nothing.
Oh, rats.
I mean, maybe it did, but they're still out there. So maybe I killed some of them. But
Mm,
so here's the issue. The holes that they're in are above the. We had there's a tree that was cut down before we moved in, and all the roots and everything are still under there. So about at least every other year, like we end up with big holes in the ground where everything just settled, and we have to like dig up or take the top layer of grass off, fill it with dirt, put it back on there. So the
right,
holes that they're in are deep because it's settled over the tree roots.
right,
I read also that you can just put a hose in there and flood them out. So I put a hose in there and drown them basically. So I put a hose in there and ran it for about 45 minutes straight, and the water never got high enough. So it's a freaking
Oh,
huge
wow.
hole, probably going to be a giant sinkhole at some point. So that didn't work. So I mowed the yard. So I've been putting off mowing the yard because I'm like, I'm not going to get stung by all these things mowing the yard. But the yard was getting really tall and they're still in there. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put on long sleeves and just see what happens. So I mowed the yard and I have one of those little electric fly swatters that like zaps them. So like as I'm getting close, I'm just like swinging that thing around and killing a bunch of them, and they never got me. I didn't get stung once,
Huh.
but they're out like I looked at the yard today, like just walking by, and they're like you can see them from like the road. Like there's
Uh,
just they're everywhere. So I don't
could
know.
you get three of those electric fly swatters and put them at night over the three holes? And
I
so every
thought
time they
about
come
that.
out, they go bzz.
Yeah, but they don't come out at night is the issue.
No, but
Um,
that's when you put them there
right, but
and
it's a
turn it
battery
on first thing in the
operated
morning.
thing. It's a battery operated thing. It's literally just meant to like push it, zap, and
Oh,
then let go. So the batteries don't last very long. I could hook up some sort of power inverter and rig it up if I really wanted to, but like I did think about that.
I don't see why you don't do that.
I mean, I have been known to do some things like that, not with electric
Yellow
fly swatters,
jackets are
but
evil, man. Like
so
they must
so
die. I
so I
hate.
don't know that I don't know that they're yellow jackets because I took a
Oh,
Google lens and took a picture
mm,
of it and it said it was like a Asian hornet or something like that. But I read about it and it said they're typically not aggressive and they really only sting you if you really start like messing with their hive. They usually stay to themselves. So my understanding was hornets were always like brutal. So, it's potentially not as bad as I thought, but I mean they're everywhere. So like I'm shocked that I didn't get stung. It did say that they will sting you if you start messing with
yeah.
their nest or whatever, but
We had some Asian hornets in the yard, and Dan, we had bee water out in that yard. It was in like an enclosed area of our huge farm, and he got stung just by changing the water. So, and he said it felt like a baseball bat hitting his leg.
oh.
So,
So it might not have been Asian hornet. It was something hornet,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
anything that says hornet just is like I'm like
Yeah. Some some
I
of
don't
them
want to F with that.
are actually pretty benign and just, there's a mud hornet, I think it's called, and they just kind of like skim around the grass and they don't really do jack shit and they don't care. So, hopefully it's one of them.
These are
I
like
don't
little
know.
small that they look smaller than yellow
Hmm.
jackets to me. So I don't know. It's a European hornet. That's what it is.
Uh,
It's a
yep.
European hornet.
Yep.
I don't know anything about them, but
Yeah,
if
me
anybody
either.
listening knows how to get rid of some European hornets, hit me up. I will give you a firm handshake.
It might be one of those things you just leave, right? And that they don't touch you.
I mean, the issue is like they're literally so the way our house is set up, like when people park on the street to come visit, instead of walking all the way to our driveway and then coming down the sidewalk, they just cut across the yard. And they're
Oh,
literally right where people cut across. So it's only a matter of time before somebody like a, UPS driver or somebody just
right,
gets lit
right.
up.
Yeah, and that sucks. The bees near here, like a lot of people are using them for pollination and such. And Dan was someplace where he found someone who had like 100 hives, and he was talking to him. And he takes his hive boxes out to the avocado trees to pollinate the avocado trees. So he gets paid to take those boxes out there and pollinate the trees, but he also harvests the honey that is a byproduct of them going out and pollinating the trees. So he takes his boxes home, harvests the honey, and then sells that.
Hmm,
So we got avocado honey from this guy.
interesting.
And I was like, huh, I wonder how this tastes. And I can't say it tastes like avocados at all, but it definitely has a different taste than like wildflower honey. And it was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
But yeah, there you
weird.
go. Who knew?
Who knew?
Avocados.
Well, that's all I have. I think I covered the random BS today because talked about my whatever. So
That's
we also have a camera on our front yard. Well, we have a couple, but one of them, and it was basically I had all these notifications like somebody was in the front yard after forgetting I just mowed the yard. So I pulled it up, and it's literally, you can see me walking through with the lawnmower, just like waving this thing around. Like I look like a madman. If people were driving by, they're probably thinking like, "What the hell is this dude doing?"
Like, what is going on? Uh, there was a year on Halloween that Dan was gone, and we get trick-or-treaters, right, at the house, at my old house. And there was somebody who came up and got candy, and they were like, "Oh, wow, that was a really cool prop snake that you have right there." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And then they left, and I was like, "What the hell are they talking about?" And I went out there, and there was this huge cottonwood,
Oh man.
like cottonmouth, just sitting there by my front steps. Like if as a trick-or-treater, you had to walk over it. So I went, and I can't reach Dan. Dan's out of town. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna grab an axe and chase this snake and kill it so that it can't eat any, it can't sting anybody as they're coming up, or bite, I guess is really it. And I'll tell you, those snakes are actually kind of tough. I hit that sucker with an axe a couple times, and it got really still and looked like it wasn't doing so good. And I looked away, and poof, it was gone.
Jeez.
But I was thinking, wow, I must have looked like a crazy woman out on my front yard with an axe.
Yeah. Happy
Fun.
Halloween, everybody.
Didn't get any more trick-or-treaters. I don't know why. Whatever.
Shocking.
But anyway, that's all I got too.
All right, sounds good. Well, I guess I'll talk to you next week with some Nationals recap.
Yes. Awesome. Excited to watch.
All right. Well, so I guess if people want to watch, you can find the live scoring at liftingcast.com. And if you want to watch the live stream, you can find it at usapowerlifting.com/live.
Awesome. Well, until next week, stay strong.
Later.
Bye now.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.